All right, guys, welcome back. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. Welcome to Finance Friday. I hope you guys had a great week, and I'm sure you guys understand that this is one of those episodes that will probably sound like a little bit of a sponsorship thing, but it's not. This is all about PSA, Professional Sports Authenticator. I actually was invited to their facility in Southern California. I will be there December 3rd on Monday and meeting with the president of PSA, Steve Sloan. And it's not a sponsorship. I'm going to do some collaboration, some social media work, get some inside details of why they do certain things the way they do. And I think it's good. I think it's great for the industry. Backstory: PSA, Professional Sports Authenticator, is the leader of all sports grading. In fact, their vintage cards, their kind of the modern day cards also have achieved higher prices than most Beckett cards ever. In fact, it's funny. Like, the analogy goes, PSA is known for vintage, older baseball cards, older basketball cards, but people don't understand is their modern day cards actually sell and hold value more than Beckett pristine cards in many cases. Well, we'll have to go over why that's the case here in a second. Most important thing to understand with PSA was in Magic the Gathering history was when I first started my business. I used to live in SoCal area, and I remember going to the PSA facility, and I graded these cards back in the day. I submitted the cards. I remember getting some of the first Alpha 10s ever graded, and it was really just the Wild West. I think Rudy from Alpha Investments has said in his videos that he basically, contacted me back in the early 2000s and started building a relationship, a friendship. And yeah, that's what happened. Was grading Magic cards wasn't a thing. It was kind of like one of those things like, wait a second, Dan. It's a game. Why are you grading these cards? Why is it important to grade them? And I was a huge advocate towards authentication and preservation and history, maintaining that throughout the years. And I thought PSA, obviously the leader of sports cards, was the perfect fit. And for many years they were. The set registry that they had at the time was revolutionary. I met a lot of different collectors all over the world from there, and people would compete and collect and have kind of like a database of their set collecting. Now, people often ask me, why did PSA kind of, just shift happen? It was basically back in the day, it was all PSA. Here's an Alpha Raging River, PSA 9, for those of you who don't know what PSA is. And here's Beckett. Why was there a shift? Why did Beckett now eclipse PSA? Is it because of the thinner cases of PSA? Or is it because of the subgrades of Beckett? There's no subgrades. What really is the root of the problem? As you guys know, in this channel, I talked about Magic Finance. I talked about interesting topics, old school Magic. This one's all about grading, and I want you guys to put in the comments below, why do you think it changed? What happened? I'll tell you what I think. I've come to the conclusion, this is what I think. And I want you guys also to put your comments below, questions for Steve Sloan, president of PSA. When I meet with him Monday, I want to do some Q&A. But ask me some good, ask some good questions. Ask some thought-provoking questions. He doesn't probably know what the reserve list is, so I'll have to debrief him on that. But ask him more high-level business questions. Ask him things that you guys want to see changed. Things you want to see improved. What's not working with the competitor, Beckett, obviously. How can they improve on that and create a better service and a relationship, better just a better overall experience for you as the customer. I think that's really important. But what has changed? I think the biggest thing I noticed over the shift was it wasn't necessarily that the case has subgrades. I think what it was, because in the beginning it was PSA. Beckett still existed. They still graded cards. They still had their subgrades. But why did it change? I come to the conclusion that the idea, the modernization of PSA, right, has been slower than Beckett. What I mean by that is this. I think, and this might be a public perception problem, and this is the reason why I want to meet with Steve. I want to meet with people at the facility. You'll see this. I will go to the facility. I'm going to walk in with my camera and say, hey, I would like to grade some cards. I would like to know how to grade some cards. I would like to understand the process. Because people out there like yourself want to understand, is PSA just this place with Mickey Mantles and Babe Ruth and, like, it's all it is sports cards, vintage cards? No. That's the thing. People have this public perception that PSA is all about the older cards, and that's really their primary focus. I think that's the problem, is that there's a ton of modern day cards, sports cards especially, and even Pokemon cards too. They do Garbage Pail Kids, they do Pokemon, Star Wars, they've done all those kind of stuff, Star Trek. They've done Marvel Masterpiece cards, the Marvel comic cards. So there's a lot of variety, set collecting that happens with PSA. But for some reason, in the Magic era of collecting, especially over, I would say, the last 5 to 10 years, things started shifting a lot. It basically has gone to mostly Beckett and very little PSA. But I think it's the modernization. I think it's the public perception. I think it is people don't understand what they do. So we are going to do that. I'm going to take basically the entire Monday to basically go to PSA, do some video content with their social media manager, Ryan. We're going to meet some of the customer service staff. We're going to meet with some of their operations, look at quality control, the labeling, just the different things that are going on. Magic. I want you guys to put in the comments below what you want me to ask these people. I want you guys to help me out. I want to know, they want to know, how can we improve Magic the Gathering experience in gaming? And I'm not excluding Pokemon people and stuff like that. I'm focusing on Magic because I don't really talk about Pokemon. But non-sport, right? This is not sports cards, it's non-sport category, but specifically Magic. What do you want to see differently? How can they make your experience better to earn your business? I think it's fascinating. I think it's a smart move, and I think it's a great time. I've had people come to me, and I've already experienced this too, that their Beckett grading orders have taken literally, guys, literally a year. Their orders that are supposed to be 5, 10-day, 20-day orders back in the day, whatever, they've been taking months and months sometimes, right? The cases come in with like dandruff. Dandruff inside the case, and they basically say, no. Return that Alpha Black Lotus to us, and we'll recase that for free, but you need to pay for all the shipping and everything. Maybe that's the customer service PSA should do. I think they probably already do that. We need to find out. I have the impression that PSA, I have an impression that PSA is going to wow us with some actual reality check of what they are and who they are. I think it's really important to understand that what a company really does versus what people say. Now, you're going to stop this video and you're going to be like, no, thumbs down. So-and-so, ex-so-and-so told me that Beckett's better. It looks like everybody on eBay is selling BGS cards. If you type in BGS MTG versus PSA MTG, there's probably a factor of like 20 to 1 maybe. So that means Beckett's better. That means Beckett's better. Well, I have something interesting to show you guys. I actually am, by the way, I'm Switzerland in this case. I am a dealer of cards. I sell graded cards of both Beckett and PSA. So for those guys from Beckett who are watching this, I'm not knocking on you guys. I'm just doing a review and a comparison. But I will show you some examples of actual grades. And I want you to think about what's going on here. All right. Before I even start, number one, PSA grades packs. This is something that's changing, I believe. Look at the back. Yes, this Arabian Nights pack, the flip here is kind of, it's not bended, but it's just kind of rolled slightly. So basically, they're usually fitting basically, they usually fit baseball card packs, right? They're kind of square shaped. Also, it's funny, it finally put plastic pack. It used to be called wax pack by accident on some of the labeling, so they're correcting that. But every company, I want to be clear, makes these airs or needs to modernize, right? And I've talked to some of the operations guys there, and we're going to be going through some ideas. And they are potentially going to be they're going to be changing these cases, I believe. So it shows the entire, the pack thing. And also, starter decks will potentially be graded. Holy mother of Jesus! Thank you, Lord! Thank you! Thank you! And by the way, Beckett doesn't grade starter decks, doesn't grade packs, doesn't grade boxes, doesn't do anything. I don't think PSA grades boxes yet, but the whole point I'm trying to make here, guys, is they're first to market on that. I think they can potentially grow a huge industry of, expand that industry. Why do people collect packs? Well, pretty obvious. Nostalgia. They want to have it displayed. These cases, it's funny, these cases are as thick. They're like double the size as the Beckett cases. Eat your heart out, Beckett. It's double the size. But, look, I don't think they're going to change the PSA cases anytime soon, but these pack cases are absolutely incredible. Like a rock. Absolutely, I love this. You can display this on your counter, your desk. You can look at it. You can put them in lineup. It's awesome. It's freaking awesome. All right. So that's the pack rating. But I want you guys to look at something. I want you guys to look at something. I'm going to pan over here. Look at this. I want you to choose some comparisons for you. All right, number one. This, my friends, is a BGS 8.5. Near mint to mint. Library of Alexandria. Look at the centering. Look at the centering, guys. The top to bottom. It's like a thin little black thing, and it's like a big thing on the top, and they call that 8.5 centering. Okay, that's near mint to mint, right? I also want to show you a Beckett card. Look carefully. This is a 6, not a high grade. Look at the corners. They're played as crap, right? But this card is an HP, right? Heavily played card. I think has some bending going on. It's pretty worn, guys. Surface is a 5. That means it has bending. This is a very, very, very HP card. And for this to be a 6, it should be like a 4 or a 5. Okay? I want to show you this for a second. All right, now, I got some more cards here. Sorry, guys, for the mess. I want to show you guys something interesting. I got to find it. Oh, here we go. Okay. This one was interesting. This was a BGS 8.5. And look at the chipping. Look at the chipping. Okay, there's a zoom. Do you guys see all that white stuff? The white? No, that is not stuff in the case. That is on the edges. Now, notice that it got an 8 edges, which I understand that it got an 8 edges. The back is pretty clean. But I want to be clear about a couple things. The standard of PSA and Beckett, completely different. Okay? Last thing. I want you guys to look at this. Another bizarre Baghdad. Just another one. Look at all that white stuff on the corners. Edges 7.5. So the problem with grading is that the term near mint, right? The 7 is near mint, by the way. It pretty much leads me to believe a couple things. And so I want to give you guys a couple examples of PSA. And you guys just tell me in the comments below what you think is what's different. Look at this Alpha Magical Hack. It's a 6 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. It's not centered. Okay, I got it. But look at the card, guys. The card, I don't know if it comes in the camera. It's literally out of the pack.
Oh no.
Out of the pack.
No.
Out of the pack. Now, you guys will probably questioning, well, that means, Dan, PSA messed up. They undergraded the card. Well, actually, guys, there's actually a surfaced bend or something, that waviness to the card you can't see. But overall, it was a very clean card. So I'm going to leave that right there for a second, and I want you to understand something. I'm going to do this last shot for you to leave you with this stuff. Because I know some of you guys are Beckett fans, you love Beckett, all that kind of stuff. I totally get it. Some of you are upset with Beckett because it's a slow turnaround. I get it. Hold on, Nick. Look at this. Look at this, guys. This is obviously a black border card, and it's a white border card. I understand surface wear is hard to tell, but look at the browning. It's like someone had some eggs, and they basically, like, it's yellow. It's like yellowing all over the place. In addition, this particular mock sapphire is completely, oops, don't ever do this in your car, guys. Completely worn to death. Completely worn to death. Completely worn to death. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, and here's the back of the Alpha Magical Hack. Completely clean. Look at that. Look at that. Not anywhere. Look at the back of this. Look at, there's like a crease right there. And there's 2 creases. Same grade, ladies and gentlemen. More of this coming soon. Thank you for watching, guys. Happy Friday. Bye-bye.